Rev up your engines!
Well, here's a hilarious one. Tesla now sacked its marketing team just months after it created it. You know, they're saying, oh, we're not going to advertise, we're going to do this. Well, old Elon said, well, try some marketing, but then he didn't like it. He said, oh, that's just cliche. Well, of course, advertising is full of cliches. He said, hey, the work they produced was too generic, could have been for any car, yeah, blah. So now there's 40 people that are out of a job. He hires a marketing team, and then a few months later, I don't like that, fire them. It was only 4 months after he started it, right? Then he fires them. Come on, the guy's selling electric cars. Not that many people want him to begin with. The quality is crap. He needs to advertise. I'll tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of advertising, but if you got a crappy product, the only way you're going to sell it is advertise it. Tell people it's a great product, right? Get the advertiser guys to lie about everything. That's what they do for everything else. So why would it be any different, you know, for cars? Look at Ford. They used to have a slogan, quality is job one at Ford. No, it isn't. They have the worst quality of any of the cars made now. They lead the nation the last 3 years in a row for most recalls, and they're probably going to keep going that way the way they're at it. Back in the day when I was in Houston, there was a place called Carpet Giant. This guy owned it, and he spent a lot of money advertising on TV. So I met him one time. I said, why do you spend all that money on TV? Isn't it wasted money? He said, well, I thought so when I cut all the ads and I almost sold nothing. Then when I spent $5 million a year advertising a cheap carpet, I started to make more money again. So, especially in the case of products that aren't that great, you have to advertise because you keep suckering new people to come in to buy, right? And he just doesn't seem to comprehend anything about the automotive world. So people have spent fortunes advertising cars since they've ever come up with a Model T Ford. And that's how they sucker people into buying them, by having ads, right? And this guy, oh, that's too generic. Car ads are pretty much generic, Elon. Hey, you're selling a car, right? You try to pretend you're selling the American dream or whatever, but if you want to sell them, especially products as poor as his, you better put some money into advertising. Well, they're at it again. Stellantis has laid 199 workers off, not white-collar workers, but actual workers, at a Ram 1500 plant in suburban Detroit. Now, realize, I always laugh because they make a lot of Rams down in Mexico, right? But they try to keep saying, we make the 1500s in Michigan. Well, now they're laying the workers off. And listen to this. This is what they say. Ram makes Ram 2500s, 3500, 4500s in Saltillo, Mexico. They also produce overflow production of the Ram 1500s. You know they're going to end up moving all the production to Mexico because it's cheaper. I knew a battery company years ago, those circular batteries with the cells inside that are like snail shells, right? And they made a plant in Mexico, and they said, well, that's just for the European cars because we can't make enough batteries, don't worry. And then like 5 years later, they only make the batteries in Mexico, and the quality of the batteries has gone down the toilet, so... That's all I gotta say is don't listen to these horse manure boys. They're moving stuff down to Mexico, fire the American workers. They don't care. It's a European company. And of course, the insane thing is this is happening after they had the big fight with the Chrysler workers and the Ram workers about the union and their new contract. And the union thinks they got a whole bunch of stuff. Well, now guess what? Stellantis will start shutting the factories down. It's a European company. They don't care about the United States, right? They're already making the big Rams and some of the 1500 Rams. Soon they'll probably be making them all down there. Well, the price of gas is up again, right? And of course, they're coming out with the usual horse manure. Drastic increases in gas prices are due to the seasonal blend fuel. You know, they're going from the winter blend to the summer blend. It's just a bunch of horse manure. Any excuse they have to raise the price. And the funny thing is, the prices can be different in many areas. This guy, Michael Belloni, who owns a Baco gas station in Rhode Island, his gas is cheaper than other people. Now, how does he get away with it? Listen to this. He charges $3.33 a gallon for regular, and down the street, it's $3.49. And at Cumberland Farms, even further down the street, it's $3.65 a gallon. So they ask him, how can you do it? He says, because I buy low and I sell low. He's not a chain like Exxon, Shell, right, big corporate thing, he's buying on the spot market. And the funny thing is, he can buy it on the spot market cheaper because it's a spot market. They got gas, they want to sell it, they don't want it sitting around, right? So whenever people aren't buying, they got to lower the price on the spot market to get people to buy it. With the big corporations can do whatever they want. That's why they all raise it at once. Just check out in your area the big boys. And when the price goes up on one, watch them. They will all go up. And if that isn't some kind of a monopoly, I don't know what is, right? But they got a lot of lobbyists in Washington, so they can get away with it. There's always some horse manure they give about why they're raising the price, right? It's always some nonsense, right? They try to blame it on the Russian war. We don't buy hardly any gasoline from Russia, right? But, well, there's a war over there. Oh, the price is going up, the price is going up, right? They'll use any excuse. They can charge us more money. It's just, it comes to a point of, you have to laugh at it and say, well, what excuse do they come up with now? You know, well, there was a solar eclipse. Yeah, we had to raise the price of gasoline. Well, Hyundai is working on a nano cooling film they claim that can reduce the interior temperature of your car by up to 40 degrees. It's a film that you put over the windows, right? Now, this isn't a dark film. This is a clear film. The infrared rays from getting into the car and heating it up too much, right? And it's not that you got to buy Hyundai. Hyundai, it's a product that they're working on that they want to sell to the public. In some places, it's illegal, like in Pakistan, to have tinted windows. You can't have any tint there. Well, this stuff is totally clear, so you can see through it. But it keeps the heat from getting in. Not a bad idea, really, when you think about it. Now, they say it can reduce it by 40 degrees. Now, that doesn't mean it's cooling the inside of your car. It just means that less heat is coming in. So, let's say it's 100 degrees outside. It can get real hot inside the car. Now, normally you can get to about 123 degrees inside a car outside. Now, if you're in a desert, where it can get 110 degrees, then it can get up to 160 degrees. They're giving you a baloney 40 degrees cooler. But that's if you're in the desert. It's usual they're bragging about something a lot more than it really is. Unless you live in the desert where you could lose 40 degrees. Who lives in a desert, right? For normal people, it'd make it somewhat cooler inside. But so does cracking the windows of your car. I mean, some of the stuff they get a little bit carried away with. The big advantage of it, though, is that it's not dark. So you can keep it cool. And police and everybody can see in at night. You can see outside. I've seen people driving these tinted windows. They can't see what's going on outside. Of course, they're tinting them because they don't want you to know what's going inside. They wouldn't buy this stuff. Well, General Motors is at it again, and a tech magazine has caught them at their own game, and they say, General Motors' patent for EV battery cells raised questions. GM bypassed its own best practices. Well, you know, they're trying to make these different cells, pouch cells. It's cheaper to make them, right? Well, instead of actually testing out the equipment that they're building it with and doing experiments, they just built the equipment and they're building the cells. Now, my prediction is, let's see if Scotty's right, probably I will be, they're going to have problems with these pouch cells because they're building them with the scene that they never tried before. They didn't test that out, and now they're going to be building them and selling them to people, right? You know they're going to have problems with them. Now, as they say, GM's L and C-shaped batteries is intended to improve the cooling process with gaps between the cells to extend the battery life. News says, GM bypassed its own best practices to rush the battery packs into production. New fully automated battery assembly lines right away are being used rather than testing them first to see if they work. I guarantee you they're going to have problems with those things, right? The problem a lot of the United States manufacturing is they really don't do enough testing of the stuff, right? They stick it out there. Let's see if it flies, you know? And if it doesn't work, we'll throw it away and try something else. That's why you see Americans, they make a car, then they stop making. They try another one, they stop making. With the Japanese, they start out with a car and they improve it gradually over time, which makes a lot more sense, right? But no, we're always throwing the baby away with the bathwater, and maybe they had an idea that's a decent idea. They didn't implement it right, and instead of incrementally making it better, they throw it away and they try another one. And here we go. GM's trying this new pouch battery system that who knows what's going to become of it, right? You got enough problem trying to sell electric cars to people than you do, oh, let's start mass producing them and see what happens. Look at Tesla. He started mass producing his cars. He was going to have robots, build the robots like in the Terminator, right? So what did they do in California and Fairmont? They had to end up putting up tents with humans in them building the cars because it didn't work with the robots doing it all themselves, right? I don't get much hope for this new electric battery system that they're rushing into production. Because I don't see people rushing out to buy these GM electric cars. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.